If you're in a clutch, you need to experience the serpent's touch.
Leadership is not about position, it's about responsibility. And responsibility without purpose eventually leads to drift, burnout, and compromise. Today on Servant Cast, we're talking about the law of purpose. Super excited about it. Because how we lead is always shaped by why we serve. So in this episode, we won't just talk about purpose, we'll talk about how to walk it out in your context. But first, let's define this law. The law of purpose states this: knowing why we serve determines how we will lead. Think about that. Our purpose is not our title, my friend. Purpose is the reason you're willing to lead, especially when it costs you something, and it can be very costly. Consider this story, and we'll call it Purpose Under Pressure. I once watched two leaders face the same crisis, same authority, same resources, same stress. One protected their image. The other protected their people and the mission. The difference wasn't skill, it was one word: purpose. Hear me well. In fact, write this down. Purpose doesn't remove pressure. It gives direction under pressure. Wow. If that's true, I've got to ask you this question. When pressure rises, and it will rise, do you lead to protect yourself or to sincerely serve others? So, how do we walk out this law? I don't want this just to be a concept. I want to give you some practical tools on how to walk it out. Step one, name your why. Name it. You can't live what you can't name. Here's some application. Complete this sentence honestly. I lead because I feel responsible for fill in the blank. Here's some examples. I feel responsible for growing people, standards being upheld, futures being protected, systems working with integrity. This simple exercise can help shore up our why. So consider this. Purpose becomes practical when it's specified, my friend. Listen to this case. Let's call it when purpose is missing. When purpose is missing. A leader delivers results, but cycles through people. Sounds familiar? The trust is low, burnout is high, and everyone is talking, but in a negative way. Here's some questions. What is this leader optimizing? Would you say results or recognition? Think about that. What purpose signal is missing here? Here's a consideration. Results without purpose eventually cost people emotionally, physically, spiritually, and I've also seen moral injury. So here's another practical step. Anchor purpose to people. Listen, purpose is not abstract, it's relational. Here's a practical step. Each week, I want to challenge you to ask yourself this question. Who benefits when I lead well? Who is harmed when I lead poorly or passively? Here's the insight. When purpose is tied to people, leadership becomes personal and not ego-driven, and we do not need any more egos. My friend, there is purpose beyond position. Many leaders confuse purpose with position. And when the role changes, the clarity disappears. Servant leaders don't serve roles, they serve people and the mission. Listen to me. Purpose that depends on a title is very fragile. Would you allow me to be transparent? Because after 27 years, I proudly wore the cloth of this nation's uniform. And I wore it proudly. But I wore something else proudly. I wore my purpose of pushing others into their purpose. And so should you. Because at one point in time, our titles will fade. So it's important to have our purpose aligned and not confuse our titles with our purpose. If this is true, I have to ask you this question. Let's be honest. If your title were removed today, would you still be compelled to lead? Think about that. Step 3 on how to walk out our purpose. Align daily decisions. Align daily decisions. You know, purpose is proven in small decisions, not speeches. Before your next key decisions, ask these questions. Number 1, does this serve people or just optics? Does this decision move us toward our mission or just reduce tension? My friend, purpose shows up in how we allocate our time, our attention, and our energy. Consider this scenario. A leader feels exhausted, not from workload, but from misalignment. In sports, we call it playing out of position. It's the equivalent of me who played point guard, playing center. I was pretty good and still pretty good. But if you put me out of position, there's going to be a lot of frustration. There's going to be a lot of booing because I'm playing out of position. My friend, that's what misalignment is with our purpose. We're oftentimes misaligned. I get it. We do what we have to do. But what's more important is alignment. If you may, allow me to do some coaching. What drew you to that leadership position originally? What was it? What do you feel accountable for even when no one is watching? Catch this. Our purpose is often recovered, hear me, by returning to our first responsibility or our first love in which we are passionate about. It's right there, my friend. Step 4, build purpose guardrails. Wow. If you forget everything else, my friend, catch this. This is so important. Purpose erodes quietly unless it's protected. So we must put guardrails in place like regular reflection, trusted coaching or mastermind, honest feedback loops. Why? Our purpose needs protection as much as it needs passion. Wow. Listen, in future servant casts, we'll take this further and show you how purpose connects to character, awareness, consistency, and legacy. Because purpose without alignment, there's the word again, eventually fractures. So let me close with this last thought. The leaders we remember the best and who impacted our lives weren't the loudest, but they were the clearest. They were clear about their why they served and committed to walking it out daily. Here's my final question. What is your purpose? There you have it, my friend. This is Servicast, where leadership begins with purpose, is sustained by awareness, and is measured by the people we serve. Until next time.